Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, your one and only Martin, and I am back on this incredibly hot day today. So yes, it is a bit more relaxed today. Well, let's get right into it. Obviously, first of all, if you're enjoying what you're watching, don't forget to hit that sub. Don't forget to click like, and don't forget to hit the comment as well. And the video that we're gonna do today is slightly different than what we're normally doing, or what I'm normally doing. But it factors into everything that we've talked about, all of these different things, because here's the thing. Let me ask you a question right off the bat. You ready? When was the last time you cleaned? Yeah, I mean it. When was the last time you cleaned? Oh, I should say, when was the last time you cleaned your timepieces? When was the last time you cleaned a watch? Now, typically, and this is, I know I'm guilty of it. Typically what happened is you take your watch, you wear your watch, you go and take a shower, and you're done with it, right? You've cleaned it. You are clean, it's clean, that's it. All depending on what it is. Of course, if the bracelet is leather or what have you, you might want to do that. You don't want to do that, or you forget or what have you. But it's kind of like if you are washing with water only and never actually using soap. You kind of get a feeling that you rinse off, but you're not really clean. And there's a couple of interesting aspects of why you should actually look at on a consistent basis on actually cleaning your timepieces, and really, and I mean thoroughly cleaning them. There is no doubt in anybody's mind that like your hands get in contact with a lot of germs, with a lot of bacteria, with a lot of good stuff, bad stuff, nasty stuff, right? And so when you're washing your hands, bacteria still start to gather on your piece. And not only that, but over time, dirt will actually compile there, also because of the small little hidden spaces that where dirt can get into and all of these things. So there is this thing that is really important for you to consider, which is you should clean it on a consistent basis. And what is a consistent basis? So I typically give my pieces a good scruff every 2 to 3 months. Okay, now that doesn't mean that I don't wipe them. That doesn't mean that I don't rinse them off, if you will, but a good scrub every 3 months at least. Okay, and so what I want to do today is kind of like show you what it is that I do to really clean my pieces in a way where I don't want to say I'm 100% sure that everything that is nasty and everything that's bad gets away, but it really is one of those things that just becomes part of my system. It's all about hygiene, and it's all about taking care of the pieces as well. So I will I'll show you how I do it, and so I'll also show you what I use for it. And so you can get all of these smart devices, you can get all of these smart tools, you can do all of these different things. But what you really need to do is something incredibly fundamental and something incredibly simple and logic. And so simple beats complex any time of the day, right? So it's not an expensive process. It should never be an expensive process, unless, of course, you absolutely need to clean the inside of your timepiece, in which case, if you're looking at checking up on lubricates on the wheels, for example, the bolts, the lubricants, if any of these different things needs to be done on a piece that you have, you might want to actually go and get a professional to do it. So I have a Bon Messier watch that is actually under, it's not restoration, it's I think it's 15-16 years old piece, something like that, and it hasn't been serviced in a long time. So actually I have now Bon Messier going through everything on it, making sure the lubricants are there, making sure there's no torque, there's no everything is as it's supposed to be, because it is an older piece, which I'm gonna show you, not now, but like eventually I'm gonna show you my Bon Messier pieces as well, because I absolutely love them. But that's a different video. So let's get into it. What do we need of equipment? I've got my equipment stacked here. I'll show you. Of course, I've got my guinea pig. This is the one that we're gonna use. This is the amazing Sika design. I have to admit, I love it. I'm gonna review it on another video, but I've taken this one and I wanted to do the test with it because it actually makes the whole thing much easier. So we have got the guinea pig here, right? What do we have? We've got a cloth. A simple cloth, not an expensive one, and you don't actually need to go and buy these things because I'm pretty sure that you already have one if you're wearing glasses or if you're wearing sunglasses. Yes, I actually snatched this one from a set of sunglasses. That's what we need as well. I've got a leather strap as well because I want to show you something around the leather strap as well. So that goes over here as well. I've got this small little, we call it Tupperware, small little plastic basin almost. Like in this one, it's not. It's actually for storing food, but I snatched it. So this time I'm gonna use it for something else. You want to make sure that when you put it on the ground that it has a flat surface, because the surface you don't want it to tilt because we're gonna use this for something. I'm sure that you can imagine what it is. I've got a metal brace as well. Because there's something that we need to do with that as well. I've got one of these very, very cool things. So you can see that there is, can you see it? I think that we will get it. No, I don't know if we can get it. Can we get it? I don't know if we can get the zoom in on it, but it's got these small little tags on it. There you go. Small little tags on it to pinch out some of the things as well, right? So there you go. Sorry about the zoom today. My producer is out, so I have to do this myself. I'm kidding. I don't have a producer, so whatever. But you need a toothbrush. Funny enough, you need a toothbrush. My advice when you're changing toothbrush, don't throw them out, keep them, not only because they always come in handy for something, especially if you want to clean your watch. They're very, very handy. So this is a used toothbrush. It's been chewed a lot, as you can see, and it's been used quite a lot. I use it for my watches. That also is the reason why it looks like it does. So don't think I'm going to brush my teeth with it. I'm not. I am going to clean my watches with it. And now, then you need one of these guys here as well. You need, like, you know what that is? That is for cleaning your ears. And then last but not least, you need a toothpick. You need a toothpick. And what you need the toothpick for is going to be very obvious very, very soon. So this is our equipment. It's not a lot. If you remove the watches for the piece, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, and you need a bit of detergent. So you can use, I normally use, I use detergent that I also use for when I do the dishes. Yes, I do the dishes. So no, when you're doing the dishes, that detergent there, whatever it is that you're using, you can use that as well. Make sure that there's not anything around like bleach in it and all of these different things, because you don't want to take a wear and a tear on it. You want to wash it. So detergent is something that's, I mean, pretty straightforward, right? When you're using the water, if you have something with, if you have a filtration mechanism or filtration machine or a water pot that you can filtrate the water in to make sure that the pH of the water is not too high, that's perfect. If not, you just need to make sure that you rinse off as well. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I've said that my little guinea pig is this one, the Sika, right? The Sika design. One of the reasons why I love the Sika as well is the simplicity of how you are untapping it with this small little fella here, okay? But before I actually go into this one, now what you do need to know is that there's a fundamental difference between how you're washing metal, leather, and silicone braces or bracelets, okay? Like, you cannot and you should not clean it in the same way. It's absolutely incorrect if anybody tells you that you just clean it. It's not correct. While when you have a silicone, you can basically wash that like you could put it in the dishwasher if you want to. It's silicone, it's gonna be okay. You can be much more rough with silicone than you can, say, for example, with leather. Leather, typically, you do not need to wash you can actually put a bit of water on it and wipe it. Now, what you could do as well, if it's older leather, is that you can actually buy these sprays that is not only cleaning but also preserving. But that is if the leather brace is actually something really, really expensive. Now, we happen to have a couch that is made of leather, and so we also have a spray that then preserves the leather. So when you clean it, you wipe it and all of these things. And once in a while, I snatch 1 or 2 drops of it. I don't wet the whole cloth. I don't. I do a bit, and then what I do is I brush it with my finger. That's it. I don't use the toothbrush. I don't use it because you don't want to scratch anything. And I am overly cautious about the fact that just scratching a bit of with a toothbrush is not going to hurt the leather. But if the leather is older and it starts to crack, then too much water and too much scratching and all of these things can actually make things worse. So a couple of drops, maybe a bit of water if you don't have anything else, just a couple of drops just to make it a bit damp on it, and then you just brush it, right? Dig it. And what you want to do, and this is again just because I'm pedant with all of these different things, and I've got like there's something wrong with how I do things, is you want to go with the patterns of the leather. You don't want to go against it. You don't want to go against the grains. You never want to go against the grain on anything. Like rule of life, rule of life. If there are grains, don't go against them. Follow the trend. The trend is your friend. Those are the grains. So follow the grains on it, right? And do you need to clean the inside as well? Yes, you do. You do need to clean the inside as well. You wipe it. Now, here's where the the toothpick comes in handy. You see the holes? Like there are holes in it. Just pop it in and just clean it, because I'm telling you, my friend, that's where the dirt is. Dirt likes holes. Holes likes dirt. And those two guys there, they are like massively good friends. So you just pop it in, pop it in, pop it in, wipe it, and you can do it once again. Easy peasy, and clean and done. Now, once you look at the metal part here, the small little clamps, or like, I don't know, you can just give them a small little shoop, a small little shoop. There is a catch release mechanism here. You just play around with it a bit, back and forth, move it a bit. You don't want to take it out. I'm telling you, you don't, like on this one here, because as you can see, the spring mechanism here is you catch and release to one side. So this one is a big no-no for you to try and get that out. You don't want to do that. So what you want to do is just clean around it, and then that's it. The same thing here, clean, move it, clean, and then that's it. Now, that means you're basically done with that. You leave it. Now, if it's, and this is one of the things as well, again, if you really, really want to take care of it, if you do notice that the leather is dry, because it can get, like over age, it can start to dry out almost, is that if you actually have leather shoes, you know that there are like these creams that you can use for your shoes. It's like a protecting layer or something. It's like, it seems like almost like Vax or Vaseline or something like that. Don't use Vaseline, by the way, but like use the shoe cream for leather shoes. Just take a bit, again, a tiny bit. Don't overdo it. A tiny bit, just, and then brush. Leave it. Don't start to wear it right away. Leave it. Let it dry or let it sink in. And then if there's any excess fat, if there's any excess cream on it, wipe it away and you're done. Now, so now let's get this banded off. So this is why I love these things, because I'm not patient. So, but shoop, up it goes. And this one, look at this. Now we have it almost off. Now I might have caused myself to get a bit overly excited, but here we do have it. Here's the whole magic of it. That's what we're gonna clean. That there, the case, is what we're gonna clean. But let me just, and yes, you can see where we're gonna clean it. And now you can start to see where we need the different parts. So this is the case, and honestly speaking, like on a different video, I'm gonna tell you how cool this is, but It is pretty cool. Now, silicone. Dishwasher, if you have one, in you go. If not, water, rinse it off. Take a bit of detergent in your hand. Clean it, clean it, clean it. Where's my toothpick? My toothpick is here. And again, in between the holes, make sure that you get in there and get all of the good stuff and the bad stuff out. Wipe it off and you're done. Bam. Now, I will tell you one thing. Even though it's silicone, make sure that you rinse it off and proper rinse it off. It doesn't have to be like super, super hot water. Just make it lukewarm water, but rinse it off. And then when you're done rinsing, make sure you wipe it as well. Make sure you dry it, because if it is something that has high pH, what it can, or if it has, if there's salt in the water or whatever, like for example, if you've been out swimming and you're just washing it here, when you let it dry, it can actually leave stains on it, and that's the last thing that you want. So make sure that you rinse it off and that you dry it. Bang! That's it. Besides that, it's basically the same mechanism as when you are cleaning your the leather brace, right? So there is not a lot of difference there. Obviously, the one that's going to cause us a bit more of a headache is when we're using a metal one. Now, I don't know what it is about these. I don't think it is. Logic would tell me that it is because of that. And that is the reason why it's a pain in the buttocks to clean metal braces is especially these joints that you have here. That just is a nightmare to clean once in a while. Especially if you haven't cleaned it for a long, long time. So this becomes On the other hand side, you know, it's like you show your appreciation for the one piece that you are wearing or the pieces that you're wearing. And so it is something that you just need to take care of. And you know what? I find it incredibly relaxing just to sit and clean all of these different things. Now, in case you don't have this mechanism oops, sorry, that was the wrong screen. I've got a second screen here. That's the reason why I'm looking over here, because I've got my notes over here. If you don't have this wonderful, wonderful little mechanism here, let me try and see if I can, that one. And you actually need to pop out the small little clamp, like the small little thingy. I forgot a word of them. What you have is you've got this one here. And so you put it in and you squeeze it in. And then at one point you can actually move it a bit and then you can just flip it off. So it's basically like you put it here on that one there. And then you push it in like that. And then when you push it in, right, let me see. When you push it in, you can then move it up a bit and then you can slide it out. That's what you need this one for, right? So this one here, super, super important. Now, it also has this one here. And that is actually, so you can put it here, right? You can put it right there and squeeze it in as well. So this is a very primitive little piece, this here. But it is incredibly needed. So, okay, you've got it. You've got the brace, right? I know it's not the same watch that it fits to and all of these different things. You've got it here. You get it in, push it in a bit, and then flip it out. And then you can take off the rim. Be careful that those little buckers here, they don't actually fly off and disappear, because then you need to get new ones. And all depending on what kind of watch it is that you have, they can be very difficult to get and they can be quite expensive, to be honest. So be careful with that. And by the way, always look at how the bracelet comes off of your watch, because that is how it has to go back on. Now, this is not an IKEA structure where you normally are okay if there's too many screws left or too many nails left. This is a piece, this is a timepiece, this is a watch. Everything has meaning, everything is as it's supposed to be. So there's no more, no less than is needed. So if there's all of a sudden you've got it put together and you're like, hey, what am I gonna do with this here? There is a mistake somewhere. Make sure that you know how to put it back together. So there are There are books written about people that have made that failure. To be honest, I can tell you, 10 years ago, I had the same problem. I was like, well, I guess I'll just put them somewhere here because I don't know where they're missing at. But whatever. I've got a bracelet off, okay? I've got a metal or the steel case off. And so here's the thing. It's normally locked. And the minute I open it, boop. Now let me see if I can open it. I should be able to open it. I guess. Oh, it is. Okay. Now, here comes the toothbrush. Do I need toothpaste? No, not necessarily. A bit of detergent. There. And now what you want to do, let me try and see if this is like handling a snake. It's very movable. Is you brush it, right? You make sure that you get in there. It's almost like when you're brushing your teeth, okay? So you want to make sure that, the hair or the brush really gets in between the joints of it, right? Take your time with it. La, da, 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 and make sure that you really get in there. And then, of course, when you're done on one side, you flip it around and you clean it again. Dip it in some water, rinse it off, and you do it again. You want to make sure that this is really nice and clean. Now, the thing that people most underestimate is the small little box here, right? It's like that lock mechanism here is where there is a ton and ton of dirt that comes in here. So we get in, we clean, we get out, we clean again. We clean on the side, right? On the side again. Make sure that we clean the whole thing, turn it around, clean it, and now it's clean. Put it in some water, rinse it off. We can then just make sure that everything is as it's supposed to do one last time. Rinse it off again. Put it, dry it, leave it, make sure everything is dry, and then we can start to assemble the watch again. Now it's clean. The bracelet is clean, the leather is clean, the silicone is clean, the metal is clean. Now, let's get into the case itself. Now, assuming that you've already unpopped the strap of the watch, okay? Now, what you do is you make sure that the crown, boop, in this case, is screwed in. You take your small little basin, your small little water basin here, bit of detergent in it, a bit of water, just enough, like almost like a finger or joint of water, and you take it with the crown screwed in, my friend. You put it in, and that's what it looks like. Actually, that's what it looks like without the water. So you leave it a bit, and you go and you leave it. Okay, let's put it over here. And I get back and I clean my other things in between. La da 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 da. After I've left it there for a bit of time, bing. This is like a cooking program, right? Like they put something in the oven, pull it out, and it's done. So in this case, it's clean. It's not clean. It's soaked, and it starts to, after a bit of time in water, it will start to loosen up some of the dirt. Now, you have to be careful if you want to do a toothbrush clean with this one. I would not recommend that. Toothpick, because you see here, let me see if I can see it. There, you see, there are the small little holes where we collect the watch or we put the bracelet into. So I take my toothpick and I just clean, flip it, and I just do clean. Flip it around, make sure that I just get in there, and then just out with all of the dirt. Clean it a bit. This one here, and it's clean. Now, why is it that I don't want to use a toothbrush on these things? I am very, very cautious about scratching, and I'm very cautious about doing anything. And also, glass should not be cleaned like that. Okay, I'll show you how we clean it. Now, here is where my ear brush or whatever, like my what are these called? Ear cleaners, whatever. I forgot the word. Comes into play, because you can see that there is the axis here, or the angles here, and so you get it in and you just wipe, and you wipe the whole thing here, and again you wipe, You wipe, make sure that you really get the small little corners as well. Flip it around. Make sure that you clean in the corners. Dirt gets off and it's wonderful. Now, what is the interesting thing is how, so now we unscrew the crown. And what we just do is we just politely clean it here around the crown. We politely clean it here, very, very gentle, right? If there's anything, we just take it and just clean it nice and neatly around it. And we push it back in place. Now, so far so good. Now, again, I have my small little cloth, right? Soft, gentle cloth. And how I do it is, also that's how I normally clean windows, right? So I brush it, or I like circle it. Circle, 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 circle. And then I wipe it. Now, once that's happened, I wipe it on the other side and back again. And when I have that, and I just get another good one, there's no spitting, there's no nothing. I just wipe it, right? So now, that's what it looks like. Clean, 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 right? And so, if you see now, it's not very dirty because this is a fairly new one, right? But you clean it, you don't push too hard, you don't need that. You just circle, 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 wipe to one side, up and down, side to side, side to side, up and down, side to side, side to side. And it's clean. On the side, wipe it. You just want to get a good finish on it. Wipe it, and you're done. Now, leave all of it. Make sure everything is dry. That's it. That is literally what you have to do. You have your small little basin here. Make sure, as I said, that that is stable. You don't want to put the case in it and then it tips over, falls on the ground, water everywhere, and a split glass. You don't want that. Make sure that it's stable. Don't make it too big. Don't find one that's very small, bit of detergent, bit of lukewarm water in it. Point one. Toothbrush. Make sure you get a toothbrush because, especially on metal cases, braces, you want to make sure that you get in there. Really get in there. Get in there and get dirty with it. Get dirty with it. Now, want to get in there and make sure that you clean that. Clean one side. Swipe it off, turn it around, clean the other side. Make sure that the lock gets an extra good scrub because that's where all the dirt are. That's where all the dirt is. That's what you want the toothbrush for. The ear thingy, the cotton. Make sure that you always get in and just polish it off, clean it off. It's a nice little thing that it actually fits into all of these small little areas. That's what you need this one for. Toothpick. What you need it for is to get into those small little holes and make sure that you just pop out all of the dirt that might be there. Boop. And potentially just around the crown as well. That's a toothpick. Tool that is ultra important for every person that is excited about watches, timepieces, is this little fella here. Because you need to make sure that you can actually take off your brace and that you can actually put it back together. You need to make sure that you push it in when you want to put it back, swipe it up or whip it out when you want to get it off. That is the one that you need as well. You need your cloth. You don't need to go and buy one. Try and see if you don't have a set of glasses that already have one of these things. Sunglasses already have one of these different things as well, if they're quality sunglasses or if the provider is a guy or a girl that actually cares about the customers, because you need to clean your glasses as well. This one is the one that you want to get. Make sure that you, again, circle, 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 side to side, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Boop, there you have that one. That's what you need. You need a watch. You need a different type of braces as well. And then that's it. Basically, that is it. Now, does that take a long time? No, it doesn't. Is it needed? Absolutely needed. You want to get rid of bacteria, you want to get rid of dirt. And you want to make sure that you actually take care of the timepieces. Because as Patek Philippe said, is you never really own a watch, you only take care of it for next generations. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you take care of your pieces and that they're in so good quality that you can hand it on to your son, daughter, cousin, nephew, whatever, right? So you want to take care of these things as well. Do it the right way. This is how I do it. I'm sure that there are other people that are doing it a different way. That's great. This is how I do it. If you don't do it at all, I recommend that you get started right away. If you have a watch that you bought 6 years ago, 10 years ago, and you've never cleaned it, it is time for you to go and get it cleaned. So waste no more time, besides, of course, clicking like, click subscribe, add a comment, and in the comment, write, I'm going to clean my watch now, Martin, because I've neglected it. But besides that, if you've got watches, go and clean them now. Make sure that you take care of them, because will they take care of you? I guess so, because they will make sure that you have a lot of fun with them in the future. That's it for this time around. I hope you enjoyed the video. And those are just some of the things that we're going to talk about in the future as well. What, how, when, all of these different things around you and your watch collection as well. It's not only about watches, it's also how do we take care of them and what should we actually do to make sure that we preserve them in the best possible way so they will last as long as time itself. Sounds very philosophical. Could be. I am not a philosophy. Besides that, have a great rest of the day, beginning of the day, whatever it is, and go and clean your watches. Go and get them clean, my friend. Go and get them clean. Take care. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye.